Hey, my name is Kaylynne, and I post all about mental health recovery, and I share my battle with depression, anxiety, and PTSD here on YouTube. So if you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. So let's get started. I see you're struggling. You're hurting inside. You're in pain. You just want everything to get better. I get it. I really do. I know you've been afraid, thinking no one will understand how you got to where you are and what brought you so low and what left you like this. In your mind, it makes so much sense why you self-harm. It's a coping mechanism, but an unhealthy coping mechanism. For others, it's so hard for them to understand why you would do this to yourself. Not many understand the cuts and the scars on your body, but I understand. And I'm so sorry, my heart breaks for you because I really do understand. I know the pain you feel when you want to self-harm. I also know the shame of having a body covered in scars. I may not know exactly what you are going through, but I do know this. There is a way out, but it is not this. There is hope, but you will never find it in blades. And there is hope, but you may have to be very brave to get it. But it is worth it when you do get help. I know you're strong because you're still here. Your scars do not show how weak you are, but they show how strong you are. You have fought, and you have not lost all hope. I want you to know that it is possible to quit self-harming. And I would be happy to share ways that helped me in the past to quit self-harming. I know it's so hard to fight the urge when you want to self-harm, but I want you to know that urge you have when you want to self-harm does not last forever. And there are other ways you can cope with those urges that won't leave any scars. Number one is reaching out for help. I think it's very important to talk to a professional like a therapist or a psychiatrist, but reaching out for help doesn't always mean talking to a professional always. It could be reaching out to a friend, a family member, just anybody you trust. Just talking about how you feel helps. Number two would be distraction. And what I mean by that is doing anything that distracts you from having those thoughts that you want to self-harm. So in the past, I found using really cold things has helped me get my mind off self-harm. So for example, you could hold an ice cube. You can put your face in some really cold water with some ice cubes. And yes, I know that sounds so crazy, and it's like, how would that help? But honestly, that was one of my go-to coping mechanisms. You could also go for like a really cold shower also. So the reason why I mentioned using cold things is because I found if you have your face in a bucket of cold water, or you're holding an ice cube, or you're in a cold shower, your mind isn't so much on self-harm. It's more on the fact that you're cold. So your mind's kind of more on that. Also, another good one is you could do a tense exercise. If you don't like the idea of using anything cold, you could do that. Also, if you're not interested in any of the things I listed, you could totally do things like listen to music, play with a pet, go for a walk, watch TV or a movie, just anything that you enjoy doing. Just to keep in mind, if you are doing one of those things, I find it's pretty easy for your thoughts to come back. So if you notice your thoughts about self-harm come back, I want you to bring yourself back to whatever you're doing and let that thought pass. And I'm not saying it's easy, but if you keep practicing it more, you'll get better at it. Number three is treating yourself with love. The reason I put this one in here is because I think it's so important to treat yourself with love if you struggle with self-harm. And the reason is, when you self-harm, you don't really so much care about your body. You don't care if you give yourself a scar or a cut on your body. But what I want you to do is change that thought about not caring about your body to caring. And yes, it's hard, but it is possible. And how you can change that thought is by letting go negative self-talk and changing it to positive self-talk. Also, doing things that make you feel good about yourself, like pampering yourself, helps. Self-harm recovery can be a struggle. It may be the hardest thing you ever do, but quitting self-harm will be worth it. If you ever find yourself holding an object to self-harm with, please, please put it down, that object, and please throw it away. Because you are so much more than this. Remember, you're stronger than your urge, and your body is so precious, and you're so beautiful. You're here for a reason, and you might not think that right now, but you gotta believe it. Please don't give up. I believe in you. If you liked my video and you found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.